I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced Thursday that he will address the United Nations General Assembly at the end of next month to speak the truth about Iran. The Prime Minister made the announcement after Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei called Israel a criminal regime of organized state terror, labeling the state as ferocious Zionist wolves that control the world media in his speech at the Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Tehran. Netanyahu said in Tehran the representatives of 120 countries listened to a blood libel against Israel and were quiet. That silence needs to stop, Netanyahu said. Therefore, I will travel to the UN's General Assembly and in a clear voice speak the truth about the Iranian terrorist regime that represents the biggest threat to world peace. Although there has been talk of a meeting at the UN between Netanyahu and U.S. President Barack Obama, which Israeli sources say is likely, no such meeting has yet been officially announced. Following a firebombing attack earlier this month outside the Israeli Jewish settlement of Bat Ayin, where Molotov cocktails were thrown at a taxi, injuring 6 Palestinians, the local rabbi there called for self-examination today. After the attack, 3 young Israeli Jewish boys aged 12 to 13 were remanded on suspicion of their involvement. Rabbi Daniel Cohen of the Bat Ayin settlement commented on the implication of the teens being involved and called on residents not to fall prey to ideas that will lead you to sin. Cohen wrote his thoughts in a letter to Bat Ayin residents, expressing hope that the allegations against the young boys will prove to be false, but stressed that the act was one of, quote, moral degeneration. The Jerusalem Post reports that prosecutors in Berlin dismissed a criminal complaint lodged against a popular local rabbi, Yitzhak Ehrenberg, over causing bodily harm by performing a ritual circumcision. A complaint was filed against Ehrenberg after he appeared on a national television show in Germany where he said he would continue to perform ritual circumcisions despite a recent court ruling in Cologne in June that ruled it to be a criminal act. The complaint against Ehrenberg was dismissed as unfounded, concluding that there was no proof to the rabbi's conduct meeting the condition of a criminal violation. The complaint against Ehrenberg follows charges being filed earlier this month in Hof, located in the German state of Bavaria, against Rabbi David Goldberg, also for performing circumcision. And turning to the U.S., police in Michigan are questioning whether the recent assault of a Michigan State University student was actually a hate crime. Detectives from the East Lansing Police Department are investigating the off-campus early Sunday morning attack on Jewish student Zachary Tenon that left him with a broken jaw. Tenon claims the attackers asked him if he was Jewish before assaulting him and that they chanted Nazi slogans and gave the Nazi salute. After speaking with 2 witnesses, police said the attack was likely a one-punch assault, and they expressed doubt about the attacker stapling Tenon's mouth, as the victim claims. Tenon's parents were outraged that there was any doubt their son was the victim of a hate crime and have obtained a lawyer. The JTA reports that Director of Media Relations for the Anti-Defamation League, who on Tuesday had expressed outrage at the alleged hate crime, said the regional office has not yet been able to determine conclusively whether the assault was or was not a hate crime and was continuing to work on the case and to wait for all the facts to come to light. And staying with the ADL, the organization has called on the mayor and municipal council of Lublin City, Poland, to take steps in preventing the construction of a commercial crematorium near the former Nazi concentration camp of Majdanek. The Polish funeral company Styx recently announced plans to construct a commercial crematorium next to the site of the former camp, which today serves as a state Holocaust memorial and museum. The ADL has asked Lublin's mayor to adopt measures ensuring that the area around Majdanek be zoned appropriately so as to prevent the construction. ADL National Director Abe Foxman, himself a Holocaust survivor from Poland, said it is difficult to adequately express the pain and insult which will result if this project goes forward. Further saying the very idea that a company would consider locating a modern cremation facility adjacent to the sacred ground dedicated to the memory of those who suffered unspeakably and to the more than hundreds of thousands of Jews and others killed within its gates, is reprehensible. The Nazis killed hundreds of thousands of Jews in the gas chambers at Majdanek. The bodies of the dead were destroyed in an on-site crematorium, which still stands. And finally, Levi Aaron, who pled guilty earlier this month to kidnapping, killing, and dismembering 8-year-old Jewish boy Levi Kletzky, was sentenced Wednesday to 40 years to life in prison. Aaron, who is also Jewish, was offered a plea deal that spared Levi's family the ordeal of a drawn-out criminal trial and spared Aaron of the possibility of life in prison without parole. Aaron admitted he kidnapped and killed Levi after the 8-year-old approached him on a Brooklyn street in the ultra-Orthodox Jewish neighborhood of Borough Park near Levi's home after he became lost and asked for directions on July 11th of last year. Levi's parents stayed away from the sentencing but issued a statement saying, "A day does not pass without our thinking of Levi, but today we close the door on this one aspect of our tragedy and seek to remember only the gifts that God has bestowed, including the 9 years Levi was with us." And that's Shalom TV's news update. I'm Teisha Bader.